So today I'm going to talk about the Vedic eco-spiritualism. As we know, India has a lot of traditional ecological, its knowledge, its kind of interpretations. Like we have some indigenous knowledge systems, we have Buddhist interpretations, we have Jainism. So today particularly, I'm talking about the Vedic knowledge which present this ecological harmonious ecosystem. So I'll be stick on to, like, there could be a lot of interpretations of Vedic knowledge also, so I'll just stuck with these passages or the hymns which talk about this ecological harmony. So mostly I'll talk about first the understanding what is eco-spiritualism, the role of some principles and the eco-divinity notion, and then I'll delve into the current contemporary world, how we are seeing or we are looking at these knowledge system right now, and we'll see how this knowledge can be plausible for environmental ethics in the contemporary world or not. So the Vedas employ various terms to suggest or signify the knowledge or the environment. So each terms it encapsulate a distinct meaning. Like key terms we have Jagat, Prapanch, Prakriti, and Vishwa. Offers diverse perspective on nature's essence. Like Jagat signifies the transient or perishable nature of ecology, while Prapancha conveys a comprehensive understanding encompassing the five elements, that is Agni, Up, Vayu, Prithvi, and Akash, or we can call the earth, air, water, uh, fire, and the ether. So Vishwa, again, the Vishwa characterize the environment as an all-pervasive presence, and Prakriti, derived from the two words that is pra and priti. It portrays the nature as purposeful and teleological meaning of the environment. So we have a lot of words which presents distinct meanings of this environment or the earth ecosystem. Moving to that terminologies, we can see each word encompasses a kind of eco spirituality in itself. Like Prakriti is a concept which give you a very touchy, or we can say that a very portrait you in the form of natural elements. So like this understanding of Vedic eco-spiritualism is very important while we are dealing with the ancient Indian text, or specifically the Vedic text, because this present you these the living harmony with nature. It's not only for the future generation or what we call today as a sustainability, but also it talks about, or we can say mostly it talks about the intrinsic well-being of nature includes both us and the natural phenomena also. So this perspective fosters two non-anthropocentric views within eco-spiritualism. This attribute the intrinsic value, and the again it shows the nature as a divine and sacred form of environment, or the form of we can say the Vishwa. So this presentation seeks to determine whether Vedic text advocate reverence for the ecology, intrinsic value, or both. So it explored the practical relevance also. We can see many practitioners, those who are working on this eco-spirituality notions. So the understanding of Vedic eco-spirituality. So the eco-spiritualism, in my understanding, is an intuitive awareness of all life forms. It's just not about your intuitions, like you are present in the world or other minds are present in the world, but it is the awareness of all life forms, all the phenomena, all the entities, those are present in this planet. So it is a relational view of the person to planet, inner to outer landscape, and soul to soil. So the I'll just quickly said from what is said in the Eco-Upanishad. It expresses a non-anthropocentric perspective, asserting that nature possesses inherent value, underscoring the importance of recognizing each entity's rightful place and value within the ecosystem. So it says, it goes like everyone has their natural phenomena, natural rights, whether we recognize them or not. But is nature is an excellent creation where everyone has their place and values. So it is not us those who are giving value to nature, it is already there. So eco-spirituality encompasses this innate awareness of all life forms, fostering a relational view of the self with the planet, with the soul to soil. Now, Vedic scriptures serve not only a philosophical reflections, but also it works as a catalyst for some transformations. Like these texts embody a living spiritual truth that aligns human life with the nature's rhythm and explore the unity between this soul to soil, or we can say nature to human. So through these concepts, like we have Maya, Shakti, Prakriti, the Vedic tradition presents nature as a manifestation of this divine, reinforcing a vision of integral unity. So, two important concepts while dealing with the ecological text we found, that is the satya and rita. We do not have any proper English translation of these two words, but we can define in a way like Rita is a cosmic and moral order, advocates the interdependence of Satya and Rita, while human morality stems from attaining Satya through Rita. So the eternal nature of Satya, that is we can call loosely truth, it manifests through Rita, maintaining equilibrium and harmony. So the concept of Rita and Dharma, non-duality, dharma that we can say it has very different meanings, but we can say a kind of self awareness of what we are doing, and the non duality between the human and nature, and these all emphasize the interconnectedness of this perfect divine harmony within nature. So the Vedic traditions philosophical concepts such as these Satya, Rita, Asu reflect the animating force of life and bridging the earthly and the spiritual realms. So the integration of Rita, Rina, Dharma, and Satya underscores the human duty to maintain this cosmic balance through rightness actions. These interconnected principles culminating in a dynamic spiritual consciousness, guiding human towards recognizing the divinity inherent in nature. So again, we have this concept of Rina, that is depth. So the notion of Bhutadi Rina shows obligation to natural phenomena. So it is a human duty to do their actions, the rightness actions to maintain the equilibrium, because we are the most conscious being. Those the other things we can see affect is affecting by us. So it is our duty to maintain this equilibrium. Therefore, the Vedic traditions, eco-spiritual perspective unveils the profound understanding of humanity's connection with the natural world. So, this interconnectedness emphasizes on this intrinsic value of nature, encourages reverence for the environment, and advocates the maintaining equilibrium through ethical actions. So, by dwelling into concepts like what I said, Satya, that is truth, the ultimate reality, Rita, that is moral and cosmic order, it offers insight into nurturing a harmonious relationship between humans and nature, though these are the only conceptions, only concepts present in the text in a textual format, but we can see how it affects us and how it shows how we can maintain our relationship with these concepts while applying into our life. Now, the presence of eco-divinity notion in the Vedas is a fundamental aspect of the Vedic tradition. So, according to Vedas, the study of consciousness serves as a foundation for understanding this creation and purpose of the universe. The supreme, the highest conscious being, is believed to manifest in various subjective forms for creation and is expressed through nature. So, they said that nature is the thing through which we can express all other things. There is no other way to express this supreme reality. So ancient Indian culture is replete with a lot of mythological stories, the sanctity of natural elements such as rivers, mountains, forests, encouraging a harmonious relationship with the environment. And the concept of non-violence is very important, all the entities towards, and how we are practicing dharma further advocate ecological balance. So, Indian tradition uniquely upholds the spiritual ethics that extend rights to every natural entity, while we can see like in Western community currently or in contemporary time we have this concept of deep ecology, the Gaia theory, emphasizes the interconnectedness of symbiotic relationship within the ecosystem. So it is essentially to differentiate them from these Vedic traditions. Those, even though present a kind of symbiotic relationship, but they have a different connotation or different meanings while presenting that. So the Vedas emphasizes the authority of a higher transcendence cosmos also, viewing nature as a sustaining and preserving force. The Vedas are not merely the sacred text of ritual rules and sacrifices, but also metaphorical and symbolic expression of nature. So, in ecological terms, it presents the symbolic expression open to multiple analysis also. So we can say that there is two aspects. One is the transcendence aspect of the Vedas that encourage a profound consideration of nature's sacredness, divinity, highlight humanity's internal or integral connection to natural world. And there is this pragmatic aspect which uh, force us to see and preserve nature. So in Atharva Veda, there is one shloka. I'm not going to read it, but there is this term called Trini Chandashi. So Trini Chandashi refers to three things that is covered everywhere, that is water, air, and herbs or flora. So these things are present everywhere in a divine form, and we should conserve, revere, and admire them. So either either it could be the sentiment, like these sentiments is echoed in the Bhumi Sukta Atharved. Atharved again is a part of the Vedic text, where the earth is seen as a sacred entity that humans must respect and protect. So the verse depicts a plea for forgiveness from the mother earth due to the disruption caused by the human activities. So we have the mantras or the hymns which goes like, even if they are digging it or for the farming, before that they are praying to these earth like, we are going to harm you, please forgive us, but we will try not to harm you, um, if to our level, but for cultivating the land, cultivating the things, we have to do that. And these kind of reverence, these kind of sacredness we are losing in this time. So the value of the things around us we are losing. So it also says that like one should enjoy with renouncing or giving up other parts. So one should therefore accept only those things are necessary for them, which are set aside, and one should not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong, and should not harm or poison them. So we are losing these kind of values in the contemporary times because we are seeing this a colonial mechanism, colonial mindset where this consumption of the earthly things or the resource materials are in its peak. So the concept of again this nature conservation is further elaborated in the Vedas, like various hymns celebrate the natural world and emphasizes this interconnectedness between human and cosmos. The Purus Sukta, it's also a part of Rig Veda, highlights the origin of gods, heavens, and the earth from a primal being. So, as we have this concept of a supreme truth, so that all things are arrived or all things are expressed. So they pose that all things are interconnectedness. We cannot separate like this is a tree and this is a human. These things have a connection between them. So these Vedic ecos encourages living in harmony with nature, treating it as an integral part of existence. So the Vedic, additionally, the Vedic view of animal ethics is very much debatable. However, they present animals' recognition, rights, and importance of their well-being with the ecosystem. They say that there could be a place or kind of animals, those who can live with the humans and those who cannot live with the humans. There should not be disturbance to living them. But due to this like while having this society development, we see this kind of bali pratha, or we can say where they kill or offer animals to their deities, but that was not present in the original text. These were the later they came into the existence. So they had this right of every living thing or non-living thing also. So if it's a plant, that is living thing, but if it's a rock also, it is a mountain, it is a river. So they, like Jainism says that every entity has a kind of or a degree of consciousness in them. So they also, we can found and see that they also thought that every entity has a living essence in it, a river, a mountain, whatever it is. So they present that rights to them. Now, we can see the eco-spirituality in contemporary world. Like these are the concepts we have, which presents we should use only those things which belongs to us. We should not deplete or degrade the environment, because that is not for it is connected to us, but because that is sacred or intrinsic in itself. So in this section, in contemporary world, we are losing those kind of values, but we are going again back to the text. We are again seeing this kind of applications, what we can see, what we can go through these. So this Vedic eco-spiritualism in contemporary words evaluate its potential as a framework for ethical, environmental ethics and sustainability. So, contemporary eco-spiritualists asserts that this escalating global catastrophe are not the result of cosmic anomalies, but rather stem from the degradation of moral values and the destruction of natural environment. So, it raises questions like, does the Vedic tradition, with its conception of creation, time, and moral responsibility, offer a foundation for a positive environmental ethics and inspire moral eco-activism? How do contemporary eco-spiritualists perceive the connection between human morality, environmental decline, and its impact on environmental activism? So, while eco-spiritualism has been criticized for its perceived isolation and limited practicality in modern times, because the texts were not reached to everyone, it is crucial to move beyond merely acknowledging environmental issues and delve into how individuals and communities are addressing and combating these crises. So, remedies for environmental challenges necessitate radical shift in values, perceptions, and understanding also. So, the prevailing scientific and industrial paradigm have fostered a disconnection between this human and nature and human culture also. So, however, the shift in worldviews towards re-enchanting science from task, like we need a kind of transformation to go back again to talk about the values, what kind of divinity, what kind of uh, traditions we had. But again, we have to be very careful while dealing with this, because there is two things: one is this eco spirituality and one is this religious environmentalism. So religious environmentalism, which echoes contemporary eco spiritualism, is not a novel, but has gained renewed significance in recent times. So it is a both cause and a potential solution to environmental problems. Like this perspective, which frames the environmental crisis as both the root cause and potential remedy, has become a facet of modern environmental discourse, like integrating a core principle of Vedic wisdom with contemporary thoughts, including deep environmental concepts, reveals these ancient ideologies that are aligned with this modern notion of intrinsic value. Again, this does not present the institutionalized religious beliefs, it presents a kind of relationship between human and nature. So, the spirituality is, and again, I said that it is an intuitive awareness of all life forms. It does not give you a kind of a set of rules which you need to follow. So we have to go to into the logic of these knowledge, this belief system, and if it is aligned with your practical thing, it is aligning with your duties or dharmas, then you have to, or you should go with this. You cannot just delve into the whatever is given. You have to be in go into the logic of this text. So the question, not the question, but like Rig Veda portrays a metaphorical things like earth as a mother, sky as a father, and all entities as their children. It emphasizes the interconnectedness and unity of these natural world. So sometimes we see how how they are putting the anthropo, I how to say, like the the human's form or human's relationship to the natural entities, but that is limited only up to the understanding, how we are understanding, how we are seeing that. It is not that we are transforming that into the human perspectives. It is there what is there. The tree is tree. We cannot say that tree is something what we are portraying, but it is just for understanding. We can get a lot of metaphorical or essence of looking into the environment. So it underscores the need to treat nature with respect, kindness, and righteousness. Again, Atharvaved explore human to act as a trusteeship of nature and adopt a harmonious relationship with the environment. Further, again, a kind of text, Yajurveda, that is again part of Vedas. It outlines for eco conservation, underscoring the sanctity of rivers, forest, and atmosphere. However, the practice of this sacrificing things, animals, it appease natural forces in Vedic rituals, raises ethical concerns. That is still we are working on. Still we are trying to find when it started, how we can get rid of this. But overall, the Vedic texts which deal with this in ecological things, it presents a harmonious relationship. It forces to delve into the relationship and not to see human and nature apart from each other. So it presents you as an embodied relationship. Embodied, that we cannot say that it is a human and it is a nature. It is a part. The nature is a whole, and the human are just a part of that, and we are all interconnected. So this is a broader understanding of Vedic text of ecological understanding. But in contemporary time, as discussed, like we have some ethical issues. We have the problem of how they were saying it that, and now in contemporary time, how we can see that that which I'm still working on it. And we the one thing I found to say that we have to go back to the logic of the things. If we are doing puja or worship of a river, we have to go back to the logic why we are doing that, and whether doing that activity we are conserving that river or we are degrading that river. So we have to go back into the consciousness, go back into the logic of the things too. Now in I am not in the stream of any field study. I'm a philosophy student, but these three case studies, I'll not say case studies, it's experience. I just want to say it. I have seen these things and experienced it from myself, so I'm presenting it as how they are practicing. So the Besnoi tradition is indigenous tradition. It is not Vedic tradition, but it practices in, like we can broadly call it as a Indian tradition. So it follows the set of rules, and it's a very sustainable rules. They're taking only those things which are falling from the tree. They are picking up all those stems or branches. Those are falling from the tree. They are not cutting. They are not harming any of the things. Again, so this we have temple. This presents a very good initiative, how they are preserving and how they are giving you a lesson of this interconnectedness. So this in different parts of India highlights successful endeavors to integrate this eco-spiritualism into contemporary sustainability and conservation efforts. So initiatives like this Viksh Prasadam is like offering a small tree or sapling of tree as a form of prasada. Prasad is sacred thing we got after doing this worship in the temple. So they gave, instead of food, instead of sacred food, prasad, of any, like we have a lot of different kind of foods also, like the laddus, and like it differs from the in India, differs from the place to place. So instead of that, they are offering a sapling of a small tree to you, and you can take it as a prasad and plant it with either your house or around the temple or wherever you get a place. So these preservation, and again we have preservation of soft black soft shell turtle that is about to extinct. So we have a temple in Assam, that is Hayagriva Madhava temple, and they are demonstrating how traditional spiritual values can translating into these effective ecological practices. So they have ponds there into within the temple boundaries, and they are preserving there. So these examples underscores this potential ancient traditions. It's not about the Vedic traditions, it's about the ecological harmonial traditions, which presents the sacredness and inherent value of nature, and these are very much aligned with the what Vedic traditions were saying. So this integration of spiritualism into environmental ethics requires a re-evaluation of human relationship with this environment and a shift from materialistic consumption. So indigenous tradition, as I have discussed, it shows a potential of eco-spirituality lies in the ability to inspire a conscious and ethical relationship with environment, which encourages a responsible trustee of this environment. So now in the conclusion, I would just say that this application of Vedic eco-spiritualism in the contemporary world offers valuable insights into the environmental ethics and sustainability. While challenges persist in the translating ancient wisdom into practical solution, the foundational principle of interconnectedness, intrinsic value, and holistic trusteeship embedded in Vedic tradition hold promises. So, reinterpreting and integrating these principles into modern practices can guide humanity towards a more harmonious and sustainable relationship with the environment. The last thing I just want to say is that the 17th sustainable goals we were going through, so we have a kind of that practices in India, that not wasting food. We have these concepts like anna is a prasad for us, anna is a very sacred for us. Danam, we have this concept of dan, charity. So we need to create greater awareness, and we shall look into the practical uses that can be made from our traditional practices in the contemporary world. So this should not be limited to these Vedic traditions or indigenous tradition. We can just spread the traditional practices which are into aligned with these logical and consciousness that is present in the or we are going into the contemporary things. So as per the above discussions, the paper comes to a position to conclude that the ontological shift, what were the ancients, for an environmental sustainable future has much to expand from the worldviews of ancient Vedic civilizations and diverse cultures that have survived sustainably over centuries. So in terms of Vagna Shiva, ancient traditions were based on the ontology of feminine as a living principle and on an ontological continuity between society and nature. So we can say that we need to do that humanization of nature and naturalization of society. Thank you so much.